audience, let me say good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, colleagues, and also friends. It is both a privilege and a responsibility to open today's panel on preparedness and first response strategies, focusing on the role of local authorities and the lessons learned from COVID-19 and the conflict in Ukraine. Initially, I intended to deliver a prepared speech, which I was working on for maybe 3 days, even in the plane. But a recent dinner with Romania's sole astronaut, Mr. Dumitru Prunariu, profoundly influenced my perspective. And why so? Because our discussion was enlightening in a way that words can hardly capture, revealing a stark contrast between the aspirations of other nations and the everyday realities of our own people, the mindset of Romanians. While other countries reach for the stars, we often find ourselves focused on mere survival. This is the speech we listen and we hear every day in the public transport, on the streets, everywhere we go. While other nations prepare their children for interstellar exploration, through education, of course, we sometimes struggle with the challenges faced within our own schools. This is a speech which I find very often in the discourses of Romanian parents towards their children. This realization was both saddening and hopeful. It strengthened my belief that we can indeed transform our mindset and overcome the challenges we face, especially when it comes to preparedness and response to pandemics, infectious diseases, and other global threats. Today, our mission is not just to reflect on the past, but to turn those lessons into actionable strategies. We will explore how to protect our most vulnerable population, secure critical medical supply, maintain mental health, and foster a culture of preparedness across Europe, not merely as a policy, but as a shared value. In conclusion, let us remember that resilience is built over time through shared knowledge, transparency, and trust. With this spirit, let's warmly welcome our distinguished panelists, 8 in total for a 2-hour panel, who will help us guide on this journey. So, with applause, let's invite them on the stage. Please, Mr. Nicolae Mărunțelu, Octavian Ghiță, Cristian Jura, Dana Stan, Ana Brankovici, Ana Todorovici, Diana Giol și Daniel Modac. And Daniel Modac. In the beginning, let's recall the EU for Health's 4 general objectives, which should be the framework of our today's panel. Improve and foster health, protect people, access to medical products, medical devices, and crisis-relevant products, and strengthen health systems. Also, let's recall the 10 specific objectives representing the areas of intervention: health promotion and disease prevention, in particular cancer, international health initiatives and cooperation, prevention, preparedness, and response to cross-border health threats, complementing national stockpiling of essential crisis-relevant products, establishing a reserve of medical, healthcare, and support staff, ensuring that these products are accessible. The products, we speak about medicinal products and medical devices and other crisis-relevant products. So ensuring that these products are accessible, available, and affordable. And about strengthening the health systems, we have to reinforcing health data, digital tools and services, digital transformation and healthcare, enhancing access to healthcare, developing and implementing EU health legislation evidence-based decision-making, and integrated work among national health systems. For a better flow of our panel, I decided to split it into 4 segments. The first one being the one which gives us a kind of aches, you know. What does preparedness mean beyond hospitals, meaning in governance, logistics, and communications? How can national and cross-border systems align faster during crisis? So I will start looking at Dr. Nicolae Mărunțelu, Dr. Diana Joel, and Dr. Ana Brankovic as the main panelists for this subject, but of course you're all invited to join us wherever your mind comes up with some interesting thoughts or comments or up-to-date information. So, Dr. Mărunțelu, where do we stand today in preparedness for biological and radiological threats? Because you're well known for your work in this area.
Let's start with CBRN disaster medicine. Ms. Flaviana Rotaru asked me 2 years ago to join ROHEALTH, and I proposed her, and she accepted to start with this working group, CBRN disaster medicine, to combine experience of people specialized in CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive, with the medical staff, with the pharmacists, with the medic, and doctors, and paramedics too, because disaster medicine involve all kind of specialty in this group. Okay, this group has 2 years activity, and starting from last year, we have one European project, and at the end of this project, we'll finish, and with our colleagues from Serbia, from Belgrade Police University and Vinca Institute of Nuclear Research, we intend to construct one European CBRN capabilities in Belgrade after 4 years.
About what I just stated, the level of awareness and also the Romanian mindset, what can you say, what can you tell us about how you perceive the Romanian mindset about being prepared for whatever comes? How do Romanians react, and then how they find solutions for crisis, incoming crisis as well?
I'll present in my presentation, I explain how first responder from Romania, that means General Inspectorate for Emergency Situation and Inspectorate for Emergency Situation, are prepared to act and to solve a problem raised by natural disaster, by terrorist action, and by natural catastrophes.
So if we have a presentation, just let's play it and work on that.
Okay. I've been invited in
you can handle, or I will help you.
Yeah. Okay. In September this year, I've been invited in Bulgaria, one exercise, NATO Bulgaria 2025. It was organized by Minister of Defense from Bulgaria and NATO, and participate 21 countries, not only from NATO countries, also from Japan, from South Korea, Australia, Azerbaijan, Moldova. And it was developed in Montana region in one airport, and it was at this exercise they participate more than 1,200 participants. Okay, 14 organizations, and I've been invited because I am a project manager for one European project, IMARS, that means Intelligent Multi-Action Robot System. Nowadays we can see that even military action change their idea. That means it's not a war of aviation or artillery, it's a war of robots. And we try to adapt these robots, these drones, to solve a problem arised by CBRNE and also medicine. That means to send in contaminated area drones or robots to have detection and also maybe later decontamination of the action. Okay, I've been interested how is prepared Inspectorate for Emergency Situation. At this exercise participate two team, one ISU, that means Inspectorate for Emergency Situation, Bucharest, Ilfov, and Târgu Mureș. And of course, being a CBRN specialist, I've been interested in activity involved in detection of radiation and chemical aspect of the action. And also, I've been in one exercise with we call SMURD, is emergency team to act for disaster. And exercise was in one big lake, cooperation between Romanian and Bulgarian aviation, because it was a trans-border action. One, they imaged one earthquake in Romania, and they transport the victim by helicopters from Craiova to this place, Montana, place of the exercise, where it was established our emergency team.
What do you think? Romania's participation was covered deeply, or some other people, from your perspective, were missing from there? Relevant people? By
let's say, forces, Spain sent 52 people, and in a second place it was Romania, 48 people. That means engineers, doctors, and paramedics. You'll see.
Any police officers?
Sorry.
Any police officers? Because sometimes, not sometimes, every time something happens, a police officer might be the first person in the place.
It was not police officer, but...
No, I was asking you if there were any police officers involved. Romania did send...
Yes. They sent officer from this General Inspectorate for Emergency Situation. And activity, okay, and SMURD, we call SMURD, that means paramedics who participate to the for solving action. And here is a place of the first opening ceremony. It was very well organized, and disaster victim identification. It was and event on the, let's say, on the lake, but they organize like in a sea, okay? And our action, because this trailer is for hyperbaric action. That means for people who, scuba diver who spend more than, let's say, 20 minutes in the big pressure underwater. Some lessons from our mission.
Let's stay on that slide, please. The previous one.
Okay.
Yes, because I see the detection and sampling means demonstration of portable sensors and detectors, aerosol, gas sampling under field conditions, real-time data integration in common operation picture, coordination with Bulgarian and NATO CBRN teams. We have here another panelist, Dr. Anna Brankovic, and she comes from law enforcement and cross-border perspective. I hope you totally agree with me when I say that the police personnel is the first one on every side. What can you tell us about the awareness in this respect of the people in your country? Just share with us a little bit of your experience, and then we come back to Dr. Mansell.
That's why we share a project, because we think it's very important for all of us to have similar trainings, so our police and other facilities could work together, first responders. Police officers are usually the first at the crime scene, and it's very important for them to know what to touch, what not to touch, and how to take care of all the evidences. If someone is a first responder, he just needs to take that biosample or chemical sample or something like that, but not to jeopardize the forensic evidence, because we don't know, we don't want to find out just what was used, but we want to find out who used it, because we don't want that to happen again. And that's a very important thing, and that's why our collaborations are really, really important, and we are preparing for those trainings, and we have some trainings together in our new Center of Excellence for CBRN at University of Criminal Investigation and Police Studies in Belgrade.
Mr. Borotseliu, you see, I hope my point here is not enough that the specialists can draw the rules and the laws and whatever necessary in respect of the framework. It is necessary for the people who implement, who enforce the law, to know what to do on site. So please go on.
Of course, my colleague explained what happens in forensic action, in a police action. I was speaking about involvement of high tech in catastrophic event, in industrial accident, release of chemical substance, dangerous and toxic substance, and we are preparing to design and to build new means of detection and means of transportation, like drones, like robots, to be sent in the area where it's not convenient to send the people.
Human being, yeah, human beings. Yes.
Because, you know, in wildfire in Australia and recent in the United States.
But even closer, in Greece. Even closer, in Greece.
Yeah, in Greece. Died the people, because during action, after 2 hours, 3 hours of fighting with a fire, they are tired, they lost their presence,
yes.
Our device, our equipment, which are installed on the firefighters' body, sent to the commanders their physical presence, that means blood pressure and oxygen,
Parameters, yes.
everything, and commander is aware that his fighter
Are not in good condition. Yeah, let's just go on. Yeah, let's continue. Next.
Look, is our combination between medical response and decontamination, okay?
Physiological and human factors like stress conditions, heat, humidity, high tempo, need for resilience training, clear communication and leadership, human performance monitoring using wearable sensors, and focus on responder, mental health and fatigue.
Artificial intelligence, that means all devices should be composed by some software who receive everything from meteorological situation, dangerous factors, and also some idea about means of transportation, road, and everything.
Command and communication interoperability.
Yeah, this one can be solved by exercise. Periodical exercise, and all people from this emergency team should be trained and should pass some exam to be able to respond to all action.
By the way, Professor Ghița, does Polytechnica Institute had entered in any kind of, let's say, cooperation, partnership with relevant institution in order to prepare the people involved in crisis management?
Yes, of course, but you need to think Polytechnica as a sum of 20 different faculties, each one having their own goals, their own strategy. And for example, I'm coming from a faculty named Electrical Engineering, and we are very much interested in participating in demonstrations with our electrical drones to see how they respond in the field, to see how they can be operated, and what, let's say, what limitations the technology implies, because not always technology is a superpower, let's say.
Yeah, I see the using of radio gateways bridging national PMR and with NATO communications. So the guys you prepared and you teach will have to learn about this.
Yes, but unfortunately, if you think about standard, because there is this topic also in our panel, standardizations means from a certain point of view having the correct equipment, but having them encrypted and not allowing data, and that means heavier equipment that consume much more energy, less autonomy, and other problems. So, fast response and resilience, how to build resilience means become flexible, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yes.
Professor Mărunțelu, let's go, let's continue. ROHEALTH's contribution to NATO's whole of society approach. Disaster medicine, curriculum and CBR and E awareness modules, which goes to cooperation for future training.
Yes, I've been and it was my intention to contact people involved in this action for our future project. And
lessons learned.
Lesson learned. A lot of event should be on the base of lesson learned. That means even rescue people are very well prepared, theoretical and practical. Every time come up some event which give them possibility to learn how to solve, how to react in critical action.
And recommendations. What are your recommendations?
Look, recommendation.
Foster, first of all.
Foster.
What to foster?
Interoperability. This NATO ask countries from Europe to come up and to solve together action and situation due to some catastrophic event. That means we have to have a line to cooperate, to transmit and to transmit event and to inform neighbors how to contact them and how to receive help from neighbor nation.
To expand AI-supported situational awareness for medical and CBRN data.
Yes, every time with this action we receive information for full action, which and equipment who doesn't work, and we have to improve and we have to take action not to happen in the future.
Continue partnerships.
Continuous partnership. Okay, I've seen at this activity and this applications that our rescue team has a permanent contact with neighbors, and they transfer information to us and to give help in emergency situation.
You are referring only to existing partnerships, or are you aiming to some other institutions? Like we have here Red Cross, for instance. Maybe we can ask Mr. Cristian Jura about intentional actions, at least at this moment.
Thank you so much. One of the core issues of the discussion is the principle of humanity. So basically this is what the Red Cross is protecting, humanity. So of course we have partnerships at the moment with the Academy, Land Force Academy, with the Defense Academy, with Police Academy, and we are in contact with all this academy promoting the principle of the Red Cross. And of course, I'll speak a bit later about other things we could, very slightly intervene, like the reconnecting families. We have the principle of ROHEALTH, it's called, and it's the links to the family, to reconnect the families. And this is a kind of action that only the Red Cross is doing. So yes, of course, we are ready to new partnership, and we are open to collaborate with all our infrastructure. Thank you.
The head of Department for Emergency Situations and Disaster Management, Mr. Modoacă, would probably have something to say.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to put also in the center the community. It's important, and this I want to reinforce the importance not to be prepared only the first responders, but also the community to know how to react and how to make the mission of the first responder easier by understanding how to recognize the sign of CBRN elements and how to don't made more complex and put in different risk situation the rescuer. Thank you.
So, Professor Manuțelu, let's continue. Integrate lessons into future EU projects.
Yes, it was our goal to, and also in this event, we have opportunity to meet each other and to share our knowledge. And for the future, I am sure that we will find out a road for cooperation.
Impact and follow-up.
Impact. every action has an impact, and when it's finished, like this event, when it's finished, we can be rich because we made a contact with people present to the event. The same with action which I have in September. I receive information about institutes and about academia who participate in this event. I should say that participant at this action was split in first responders, observers, and engineers and developers. And everybody, you have seen some jackets, colors. Engineers and researchers were in pink jacket, and observers, it was in green jackets, and we receive information from everybody, business card to share information.
So follow-up is the most important thing. After we learn the lessons, we have to follow up. So because time is putting pressure on us, let's just go a little bit faster. And because we have this law enforcement and cross-border perspective coming from our panelists here, I would pass the floor to Ms. Anna Brankovic.
Thank you very much. I want to say something specific about me. I'm a molecular biologist working at the police school, and I'm trying to get natural science in police heads. So it's not easy job to do. No, I don't need it. I will tell you just. And that's why we need to train. We are from Serbia, we are not the part of EU, and we don't have many equipment. But what we lack in equipment, we try to excel in innovations, and we try to excel in training. And that's why our students have many exercises through their schools, and we try these projects that we have that my colleague Anna will talk about more. We try to train them for the specific situations. It might be biotech, it might be clandestine laboratories, it might be radiological attack, and we try to train them for all those situations. If you could you play presentation, please? Thank you. What is specific? When we train our students, we train them with regular police officers who already work. Why? Because that's the place for them in their future. We train them with first responders also. We can check the next slide, please. Yeah.
I think it's better
it's better for me.
to have the device. Device is
Thank you very much.
much more easier.
And what they need to learn and what they need to do, if someone is a first responder, he needs to know how to evaluate things at the crime scene, how to get just the samples that are important. We just had an exercise with master students from Tor Vergata, from their CBRNE program, and I told them, take just one sample, and their heads blown. But we take usually as many samples as we can. Yeah, but for each sample, you're exposing yourself further and further, and you're getting yourself in the more dangerous situation. Just take one. They need to learn how to think quickly. Which one is the most important? Which one will give them the result that they need? And that's what they need to learn. And after the exercise, they were mad. We just took one sample. And I told them, yes, but that one saved your life. Just that one saved your life. If you were there for a longer time, there's a situation that you can break your suit, that you can jeopardize your health, and we don't want them. We want you to be here for a long time with us. That's why we did even one more side project with our Institute of Physics. we measured the level of cortisol, it's a hormone of stress, with our fire department. When they have some situations that are stressful, not just at the job, but private stressful situations, we measured the level of cortisol, so we could see if that affects their performance. We are now making that research ready to publish, and I think it would be interesting. Why I wanted to talk about this forensic challenge.
But before that,
Yeah,
let's involve another panelist.
of course.
Ms. Dana Stan comes from the biotech field, so having in mind what our panelist said, what do you think about the field of biosecurity in Romania, and how do we tackle these issues?
Hello everybody. I represent DDS Diagnostic. We are a small company, an innovative company specialized in biotech, in medical devices for diagnostic, so IVD. And we are very deep involved in the research, and we develop medical device, and after that we put them on the market. So now we work, we work now, but we have experience about 17 years on various sensors for detection of the small molecule drugs, molecules, for example, and also for various pathogens, especially bacteria or virus.
So these sensors are absolutely of key importance for what our previous speaker said, and
Yes.
also relates to the next speaker, Ms. Anna Todorovic, coming from the field of digging data. Please let us know more about this.
Yes, thank you. You're correct. That's very important.
Closer.
That's very important for us. That's very important for all first responders. And on our trainings, we learned them to recognize and to understand information from each test they should use, so they can be the strong first line of defendant to protect the whole healthcare system from overload. And we think that is and we need to use those sensors.
We'll be back. We'll be back to the field.
Yeah, and develop them.
Just one observation. These sensors are the technology behind this sensor are very high. But the goal is to use this sensor very, very easy and to obtain the results very specific, very accurate in few minutes. And there are some this kind of sensor.
Yes, we actually use some kind of sensors,
Yes.
and I will talk about how the most simplest test can give us a lot of answers, and how first responders can make some smart decisions based on very affordable and very simple.
Yes,
So we have sensors, we have devices, we have knowledge.
Yes, but regarding the risk, the life risk of the people which
Yes.
go in this contaminated area, this sensor can help them because they can detect very easy and
Yes.
if
That's part of my my presentation. So
Great.
also I agree completely. I couldn't agree more with you.
So let's go back to Ms. Brankovic. 3 investigation scenarios.
Yes, we need to collect bioweapon material, regular forensic evidence, and to combine them, because it's not easy. We need to know who tampered and what way did they tamper, and why we need to combine everything, because when someone has some laboratory producing bioweapons, I can produce bioweapons, just go to the shop and buy everything I need to cook a soup.
And I can produce bioweapons by eggs. And I can produce viruses as well. And it's very easy to do that. But someone who has that lab, he's trying to keep it safe. So there could be traps, there could be explosives, there could be some chemical things. That's why we all need to work together. And our colleague from Ministry of Defense, Diana, yeah, she could tell us something more maybe about it?
Absolutely. Military perspective, military medical perspective.
Research perspective.
Research.
I would say, because I represent the Department of Research from Kanta Institute. It is easy and it is not easy to prepare something. If you want to properly prepare biological product, it is very difficult. You have a lot of steps in order to get it to the market and to make it usable on the market. Then you have a lot of steps that you have to go through and a lot of regulation that you have to follow.
Yeah, but if I'm a terrorist, I don't have any regulations to follow.
Of course, then you don't really care about all this stuff. So maybe efficiency, but thank God they don't have that much yet.
If anyone wants to sum up all that was said here, to sum up a little bit about the level of preparedness and the lessons we learned in the past and what we should do in the future, just to prepare the idea that innovation and technology play a key role. I think Cantacuzino Institute can tell us even more about this.
Yes, I can tell you a little bit more. So we learn from the past and from the present, and we are trying to go further with the future, and that's why we are trying to prepare our field for the future. So for this, we are continuing with research and development for all the aspects of this field, and especially for biological products. I don't know if now it's the time to do the...
Let's ask our previous panelist if you want to add something key important from your presentation. If not, we just go on.
No, not for the presentation. I just wanted to say it's very important
we just
for all of us to work together.
We continue our debate. So, please.
I'll pick up on that idea, and then you will see that for us, we want to go on the same idea. We want to...
Let's put on screen your presentation.
We want to have multidisciplinary teams, and we want to have a very complex project and work, and to really have an output of our work. This on a practical level. So we are, as I said, the R&D, the Research and Development Department, but we want to go further to the market. So if we can put my presentation, please.
Diana Joel, presentation, please.
I will very shortly present one project that we have now in implementation. It's called the Kantavac.
It will come up.
The Kantavac project, which is funded by, it's co-funded by European Union. It is a very complex project, and we really want to see how we navigate from laboratory research to market for biological products. And so the goal of the project is to increase the technological readiness level up to TERL 7, so going to the market, for the innovative prophylactic and therapeutical biological products candidates based on traditional products with updated technology. And here we have the progress for the future, and also based on new products. So basically, we want to have R&D infrastructure, a pilot structure, in order to go to investigational biological products. This is because in the past and in the present, we have a lot of research, and we do produce a lot of biological product candidates, but we don't go further. And in order to go further, we after developing these products well, candidates, not products, with national and international grants. We need to go the next step and bring our input from every field in this in order to go to the market. So we formed a consortium with 6 public institutions and 4 private institutions from all over Romania, as you can see. We have our traditional partners like Medical University from Cluj and from Timișoara, and the IBA Institute and the Vector Babeș Institute. We also have new partners like the private partners. This is a 5 years project with a follow-up of another 5 years. We think it is very important to do this, and it is a very complex work to do it and for final products, because we are having the experience with the laboratory scale development of these biological candidates. We do have an experience with animal facilities, like you know, Cantacuzino, it's has an animal facility with SPF, so pathogen-free animals, and we want to develop our preclinical testing facilities and then go to investigational product and also to develop a pilot, good manufacturing practices area to do this biological products. So we have 5 main objectives and 4 expected results that we are following, and we went through all the steps from laboratory to pilot scale. Here are some information, because we do want to apply all the technologies, the available technologies, so artificial intelligence also plays a role here. And based on our experience, and this I will focus a bit more, based on our experience, we developed a strategy on how to develop, evaluate, and optimize vaccine candidates and monoclonal antibodies. And I would like to just show you that you said it's easy to prepare. Not that easy to prepare at one point, because if you see the influenza vaccine manufacturing steps, we have a lot of steps over here. We have the upstream and the downstream, and it is each one of these steps has its own challenges to be done and to be produced. We have a lot of experience on egg-based production, but we would like to go to more modern, so cell-based production. And based on the previous results that it is flooded in our market and in the research and development field, we are now following up and trying to go to the market. So as you can see, I just wanted to point, first of all, in the right corner are the colleagues and the teams which work, because this is a lot of years in development. And then you will see that based on the results that we had on different projects, national projects or European projects, we are now going further. So these were like building blocks for what we are wanting to go. And we do have a lot of interdisciplinary and multitasking, and a lot of colleagues from different fields. So I'm a chemical engineer, but we have biologists, we have microbiologists, we have chemists, we have doctors, we have veterinary doctors, and so on, and everybody has their own input in this.
I will ask you something, because it comes to my mind from what I read on the screen. The shortage of medical supplies during COVID-19 and the energy disruptions during the war revealed that Europe's dependence on the external sources is real. What are the most viable strategies now for achieving supply chain autonomy? Because I see that there is a long transition from flask to the market. Difficult questions, but of course every single one of you who has a meaning to intervene, please.
Well, we need to just count on ourselves and to prepare. So basically, if we understand the reality of the situation And then if we are a little bit prepared with how to handle things, then we will go forward. So during COVID pandemics, there was at one point a shortage of gloves and I don't know, of everything, reagents and so on. So then R&D started and they tried to develop new technologies for diagnostics in order to use less specialized reagents and so on. Also, there was a community feeling and a lot of people started to donate gloves and supplies, regular supplies that they had at home or that they just managed to buy. I don't know how, but they managed to buy, and then they donated it to the medical specialist and to the diagnostics and so on. So if we realize the event, then...
Yes, so, sorry. To be complementary with what my colleague said, both pandemic and the war in Ukraine teach us a very important lesson. Even if we have all the production based in China, we should have this in mind that each country should be able to produce some very basic goods. We should not abandon this. We talk about life support equipment, we talk about medical equipment that it's able to produce medicine and other stuff. We talk about food and energy. It's very good that we can import everything from China. But if the chain supply is so long, it can be easily distracted. And I want to stress another thing. Maybe it's very good to have good relations with some of our neighbors. Maybe they are not in the European Union. It's not a good thing, but they don't have many regulations like us, so maybe they are able to produce things faster than us. We thank you very much, dear neighbors. And we can take from them and enhance or rebuild things. I'm not just talking about gunpowder or things like this.
No, but the practical point of view is very important, and Mr. Modoaka has something to say because he comes from the reality things, you know, the field.
I just want to put your imagination to work and adding the administrative part on the public authority in this long chain, because this was a part where the Red Cross was reinforced, let's say, or help the public authority, the medical system, to shortage the administrative part also, and to procure faster the items that was necessary, starting with the protection mask and also medical aspects. And it was important because we don't have this expertise to have the experts which give us the standards and pointed the main vendors for this medical protection kits or different medical equipment.
If Red Cross has to share something about us, about the pandemic and all this.
Yes, I will add it more in the presentation.
Then let's put it on screen then, because time is short. We have to go on and go on. So slowly but surely we go into technology here, because a key role. And if we don't have specialists ready to use it, then there are shortages, there are social phenomena happening and so on. If we have the presentation ready.
Yes, with your permission, I will give the floor to Mr. Jura, because it will be continue after that.
No,
it's
no
more
problem.
easy to understand it.
Absolutely. Keep going.
So then we need the other presentation. Jura. Great. So this is maybe the most symbol in the world, one of the most known symbols in the world, the symbol of the Red Cross. But it is important what's behind the Red Cross, what is the history of the Red Cross, and why the Red Cross is it's so important. And why it's important to, thank you, why it's important to protect this symbol and to use it properly. And this is linked with the next presentation of my colleague. Just to add that we are a delegation here from the Red Cross, also our colleague from the legal department, both of them are here. And thank you, Luisa, thank you, Bianca, for being here with us. So this is the symbol, this is important. And this symbol is important because those are the principles of the Red Cross. Those are the principles that the Red Cross are respecting them. And this is the reason that in some points, at the moment, there are 130 conflicts all over the world. Armed conflicts, 130. We cannot imagine, except Gaza and except Ukraine. And in those conflicts, the only entity that could enter and have a point to say, helping the exchange with the prisoners, helping the exchange of the children from Ukraine returning from Russia, are those very principles. Independence, impartiality, humanity, voluntary service, unity, universality, and neutrality. That's why it's important cooperation and collaboration in between Red Cross and other institutions, because the Red Cross is sometimes the only entity that could really enter into those areas. And I'll go actually back to the symbol. What happened during pandemic and what happened during the conflict with Ukraine? We are talking about the misuse of the emblem of the Red Cross, because there was a call, there was an appeal that we need supplies, we need goods for the refugees, and everybody printed a Red Cross at the printer at home, put it on the car, and they started to go around Romania, to go to the border, and to deliver things. So this is not good. This is not we're supposed to act, because all the help from the Red Cross is checked. We deliver what it's needed. We don't deliver what we don't need at home and let's give it to the refugees, because sometimes this happens. Yeah, we have a couple of old clothes, or maybe we give them rice, so they could not cook rice in an area, and they cannot cook rice at the border, yeah, because they don't have fire, or they don't have I don't know, a pot, to cook it. So this is important to protect the symbol of the Red Cross, because we check and we really deliver what's needed and where it's needed. And this is one hand. On the other hand, not forget that we do have this network. So it's Romanian Red Cross, but Romanian Red Cross works along another 194 other National Society of Red Cross all over the world. So in the case of a conflict, we could easily exchange information with our colleagues from I don't know, Republic of Moldova, with Serbia, with Bulgaria. And actually our plan is next year to build a hub here in Romania and to train civilians and also military forces, to train them with the experts that actually were in the field, in the battlefield, and to know exactly what's going on and how to act in those very dangerous areas. So this is the reason that we really need to protect the symbol of the Red Cross. And this is actually the last slide. This is, well, it's not really well-known principle of humanitarian diplomacy. It's quite a new concept of humanitarian diplomacy. And also behind this concept is like reinforcing the principles of humanity. Because we do have treaties, but they are not respected. So what we do in this case? Yeah? Once again, since the Second World War and since the fall of the Iron Curtain, at the moment there are 130 conflicts, armed conflicts around the world. That's huge. We cannot imagine. Of course, we are talking more about Ukraine and more about Gaza, but there are other conflicts. We cannot talk about Africa, for example. And this is very dangerous, because also from some areas of conflict, there are coming agents, pathogen agents, that could come diseases. We have different diseases that we are not used to have it here in Europe. So we do have this principle of humanitarian diplomacy. We are trying to promote the principles you've seen before. We are trying to make the governments understand that maybe at some point to start, to stop the wars and to start negotiating in all those conflicts. The Red Cross is involved. And we have not to forget that in some of those conflicts, the governments are not welcome anymore. So no, they are not, just to give an example from Yemen, very recently. So the UN building in Yemen was attacked by the Houthis, yeah? But the HQ of the Red Cross, it wasn't. Why? Because we have this principle of neutrality. So Red Cross is seen as being, neutral and impartial in any kind of conflicts regarding to different entities. I'll stop here and I'll give the word to my colleague, which will be more specific on...
Yes, but Mr. Jura, later on, because as I see they are influencing decision makers. To influence decision, we just noticed during the war in Ukraine that social media has an absolutely astounding influence. And because of that, a lot of misinformation and malinformation goes on. So maybe it's the moment for Professor Gitze to come up with some ideas, because now we speak about using technology not in the best way possible, not in the most ethical way possible. So,
just a small comment to enhance what you said. Even the most vicious ones, they have a page on Facebook, so they want to look good. They will not attack Red Cross. So from this point of view, maybe we are safe.
And also, I might add, many, probably tens of thousands of misinformation pages and malinformation pages where some very smart people, smart with brackets.
No, they are smart.
They are smart, yes, they are intelligent, but not in the best ethical way, They deceived the people, first of all, refugees, and also they created chains of supply toward unwanted destinations. So how can we protect ourselves using technology in the good manner in order to fulfill the Red Cross ideas and principles?
Technology is, how to put it, not to offend anybody. It's a weapon with two sides. If you use it correctly, can save lives, can make our life better. We don't talk about this because it's obvious, but if you don't use it well, and I mean not voluntarily, if you feed AI with bad information, AI will give you bad advices. This is for true. What I want to say, it's a very strict and paradoxal situation in which we are today. All the studies are showing us that the technology is evolving now faster than we can understand it. Even before we are able to settle down with a certain technology, with a certain platform, with something, even before we understand fully how to use it efficiently, a new technology emerges, rules are changing, a new platform, a new item, a new equipment. So basically the technology is going up higher with a lot of speed, while our understanding as human beings, it's still constant. It means we talk about, with all due respect, we don't offend anybody saying this, we are talking about a gap, an increasing gap between what we understand and what we can't understand. This will explain a lot of things happening in Romania, and not only in Romania today. I'm working with high-class sensors, as a lot of my colleagues. I'm working with drones, robots. I will explain you shortly what we are doing as a business. And we are very happy to work with high-tech and the latest technologies, while other people are still questioning and debating the vaccine. I think if Pasteur will live today, he will suicide. He will commit suicide because he will say, I don't need to save these people. Let cholera, let all the diseases spread, because it's true. Somehow we have the chance, and we need to understand this, that technology should be once again explained. Technology should be once again made accessible, to everybody to understand the benefits. It's not something like no doubt benefit, but we should explain it. For example, I'm representing a small company. It's called Energy and Eco Concept, shortly ENEC, and we are going in this direction to make drones, to make high-profile surveillance systems based on sensors, based on AI, and based on aerial and terrestrial drones that can help people, especially building this resilience. But resilience should start, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, resilience should start with our imagination. We should think the worst case possible. We learned from the past. We learned very valuable lessons from the pandemic, from the war in Ukraine, and from other places, or things, or facts. But knowing the past, it will not guarantee we'll know the future. The future is completely unpredictable. Let me add a little bit of drama in the. We all live in drama. Insula Iubirii is finished, so let's bring another one. Let's imagine somebody will attack, by mistake, Cernavodă. Why? To get Romania out of the war. It's not a war, it's not a conflict, it's a mistake. Imagine that the side walls of Cernavodă are penetrated by small drones. We talk about other type of drones, and some reactive material go out. We will establish a central point of operation, military, together with the CBRS, maybe with your help, but we will send some people there to pick the residual materials, or maybe it's better to have a drone which will survey the area, a pre-prepared drone, and then we establish where are the most important parts of the radioactive materials, and then we will send a robot, a specially designed and equipped robot with optical fiber, which will resist, let's say, more to radiation in order not to kill people. It was very interesting what you said about first responders.
Professor Gize, keep your word, please, because we are a hybrid event, and I just received a question from our online audience. How can digital infrastructure and AI enhance outbreak detections and energy resilience? Outbreaks.
It's a very good question. Artificial intelligence has a lot of potential. Maybe we are not yet fully grown, fully mature to understand how to use it. But when we talk about energy, when we talk about decisions that we need to make, we need to keep in mind that technology should remain flexible. If we go, for example, in an intervention with only one generator, it will supply all the activities with the energy. Without energy, we cannot communicate, we cannot do anything, we cannot save people. But if we go with only one generator, regardless how much artificial intelligence we have at our disposal, if that generator stops working, everything is down. So first, I will ask artificial intelligence to tell me where are the closest points of energy supply, if I need to go with more oil or more gas or more something in the tanks, in order to have energy to build the command point, the central point, and then to interfere. So it is very important to understand how should we use artificial intelligence. We need to train ourselves. We should not have this fear, oh, it's not for me. It's for everybody. Imagine that 20 years ago, nobody was using Google. We were using Yahoo and something else. I had professors at the university and they said, oh, you are not allowed to do your homework with Google. It's the same with artificial intelligence. We should cross this barrier and we should start working and customizing the artificial intelligence in our own interests.
The question was practically in two parts, our viewer, and I hope you got your answer. Also said, if you have a biotech startup, how can this help us in rapid diagnostics? But I think this question also works for Ms. Dana Stan.
And I have a very, very short presentation, if you... regarding
I don't think we can use a presentation due to the very, very short time we have remained.
Okay.
So
but
let's answer this and speak also about
yes,
your
I have, I think, 5 slides.
You need.
Yes,
you
I need
the slides.
because
okay.
there.
Let's put on screen,
yes,
please. Thank you.
Please, thank you. So I have not the pointer. So regarding the innovative companies, great. These 2 slides, I think they are important for us. Yes, they have, I think.
So if you can answer to also the question coming from the online public within your presentation is perfect.
Okay,
it just
great.
fits our needs for time.
Yes, the role of the biotech company in this field. Regarding Europe, over 80% of innovation are brought by SMEs, by small companies. So in Europe, this impact it's very, very high. They have this small company has a very good flexibility. They are very deep involved in the innovation and research process. So and also they use very efficient the money that they receive from different sources. They own money, the money from the national government, the European money. And also, they want to place on the market the results of the innovation. In our case, for example, we don't use our resources, our energy, and our money and European money just for research. Because it's not efficient for us. So we use this money for innovation, for research, but our goal is to place on the market products, in this case medical device. For example, in the pandemic period, we was involved in a national project named Solution, and we develop starting to zero, yes, and put on the market in 8 months real-time PCR device for laboratory for COVID-19 detection. So was a very short time, was a very big effort, and we have the possibility to do that because we was involved in the project. We have the possibility to validate our method and our product with our partners, because this is a very big issue for a small company. The innovation goes well, you obtain something like Diana said at TL7, but in Europe, the rules, the regulation, the bureaucracy are so high, so sometimes it is impossible to do this bureaucracy and regulation. It is impossible to put on the market a good product developed and made in Europe. And for that, it's a very important issue, because not only for us in Romania, but also for other SMEs from Europe, due to this excessive bureaucracy and cost, many European IVDR products are now and will be uncompetitive in the next 3 years. So I think this is not okay. And this is not okay in the peace period. But in this context, when, you know, it's a very difficult period to do that, I think it's a real and important issue that must be solved. So that's.
So you're part of answer.
Yes.
Professor Gitz.
Yes. people say that if you live in interesting times, you will develop interesting things, which is very much true. War, pandemic situation, crisis, this should be also seen as an opportunity. We didn't have all the platforms and all the suppliers, new type of suppliers, if it was not for the pandemic. We didn't have all the new generation of drones, swarms of drones working together if it's not for the war in Ukraine. We've rediscovered once again that mankind is the most important resource. So in order to protect the humans, we should develop robots. At our company, for example, we buy components and we build an octocopter, multicopter, quadcopter, 8 or 4 engines, which has a robotic arm. So it should have two different operators. One is the drone pilot. It was trained at Brasov Academy of Aerial Forces. And the other one is just the operator of the robotic arm. The use of this kind of drones, the fields in which you can use them, it's quite unlimited. So basically, building resilience means to protect your personnel, because trained personnel, it's very hard to find. And if you lose, it was a discussion about losing personnel, and it was a discussion about those people can be also stressed. They are not robots. You send some firefighters. I had this, it's a very sad story, but shortly I will just... A very good firefighter was one of my students. He was also working as firefighter, and in a certain situation, he didn't have any kind of equipment on him, and he saw something very terrible, and this shocked him. And they need to pull him out of the situation, and they need to give him specialized assistance and psychological then assistance in order to pass this shock. It was a very strong guy, a very determined guy, but nobody is immune. From time to time, it's better to get to the robots, tell him the robot doesn't have any kind of sentiments, they will not take control over us, we are having still control over them. You go, you place, you grab the object, you bring it back, or you send the object. In cases of another kind of pandemic, you need to reach isolated communities, you need to send them supplies. A robot with a robotic arm installed on a drone is the perfect solution. They can lift up to 10 kilos. It's quite huge as mass and volumes, so you can save lives without any problem. What we don't have in reality, it's the permit to fly and fly over cities or certain areas.
But still, startups have a great way to do it, maybe more than some institutions.
Yes.
I hope that we answered the question, and I will put in like a mirror your answers on behalf of startups to an institution. Dr. Anna Todorovic comes from the nuclear and biomedical research field. So please, can you also answer along with your presentation to our viewer?
Yes, from Winch Institute for Nuclear Sciences. Thank you. So yes, we need technology, of course, but we also have to understand and learn to use technologies. And that became obvious during the COVID pandemic with testing, for example, because we all remember confusion when during the COVID pandemic, when one person was, for example, tested positive one day with one test, and then another day with another test, the same person was tested negative. And the biggest misconception was the test is wrong. Actually, test was right, but we didn't interpret the results correctly. Because we often overlooked that PCR test is super sensitive. It can detect the fragments of the virus or even dead virus long after infection. Then antigen test can miss some early infectious cases, and antibody test showed us what happened in the past, not what was happening now. So that's why I think that the detection awareness, understanding exactly what each test tells us, is very important, because it's simple if we don't understand information, we cannot respond to it correctly. And that's very important for entire health system, because resilience against biological threat is not like single wall. It's a layered defense, like a castle with multiple rings of protection. And that also became obvious during COVID pandemic, when we initially had only PCR test, like defender on the castle gate, but we missed that outer layers. And eventually what you said, that simple lateral flow test, it wasn't perfect like PCR, but it shifted testing beyond the hospitals and the laboratories, and it enabled rapid mass screening, so it slowed the disease and gave us time to react. That's importance.
Because we develop also the rapid test, antigenic and antibody test, and regarding the antigen test, was a situation in Europe and at all world level. That means at the beginning, this rapid test were very modest results. I mean, over 60% of the results was correct. But,
yes, but just for high level of virus.
But I think in 5-6 months, the raw material was very, very good, very high improved. And also at the European Committee, so was a very interesting situation, because in this case we don't need notified body or other institution to approve this test to place on the market. The European Committee has a platform, and they send us, they request preclinical evaluation, clinical trials, everything. We perform this evaluation and we send to them with all the proofs. Some tests we perform at Institut Cantacuzino. And after 6 months, one year, the performance of the test was very close to the PCR, because the antibody and the antigen which composed this test was very, very good. But that was an effort at in the whole world, you know, because the raw materials are provided not from Europe, and everything was and that is.
Yeah, thank you. But that just was an example from COVID pandemic, and my point was that even then, something that wasn't as perfect as now was very useful and saved us, protect the entire health system from overload.
Humanitarian and community response is important when they do have an influx of data from institutions like yours, from Vința, or startups like the one represented here. So let's go back to Red Cross, because humanitarian response is practically what we aim for. It's what we really need for ourselves.
Thank you very much. So longer time for the humanitarian presentation. Could you put please the presentation, please?
And before that,
yes,
until the presentation is ready,
no,
I have a question prepared for you, especially.
Good.
Because both the pandemic and the war have deeply affected mental health and social cohesion. If you have in your presentation some data about this, we would be really interested in.
I don't have data, but we made it a lot of action, and we still running a lot of activity related with this. And thank you for you pointed a very important elements, which before Ukraine response, it wasn't so obvious pointed. Of course, this mental health, it was necessary in pandemics, but it wasn't pointed so central, let's say like this. As soon as we develop, and not only us as the Red Cross, as soon as we develop our program and we made exchange of information with our beneficiary to set up our service to be in accord with the needs of the beneficiary, we identify this big gap and needs. I will extend it more when I will speak about.
Yeah, but again, I have to mention that we have very short time remained, so
it's perfect. I'm very good to work under the stress. So, just a small intro. It's if our ambassador, Mr. Jura, expressed about the international extension of the movement, you can see the internal in the country extension of the Red Cross. We are following the administrative spreading, so we are in each county and plus 6 districts in Bucharest, as you can see. And of course, we have a logistic support served with the help of 6 regional warehouses, where we have the main food and non-food items for a faster response.
The figures are really encouraging, believe me. As a journalist, I meet every day people telling me a lot of stories, and some of them are under stress, and you know, to me, to my eyes and to my mind, there is need for more information to the public.
Yes, I am totally agree. And also you can see the, let's say, human resource that we counting on volunteer. Please. So when we speak about COVID, it was also a good lesson learned, and each crisis show us, as you mentioned, to spread the information for the public. Otherwise, they will be very reactive. Doesn't matter how good is the advice or how the technical have behind and research. The society will not accept it if you will not disseminate in a proper way the message. And we saw also in Romania with the vaccination campaign and other elements. So in a pandemic response, as we said, as I said earlier, we starting to put in action our network volunteer, and I want to underline the brave of the volunteer, because they was jumping to help the community without knowing in the first phase the effects of the virus. So they took this risk to be in danger or to be a physical threat and jump in a knowledge area just to help others. In the same time as the pandemic was spreaded, of course, our response, it was coordinated with the authority. There appear different gaps, as I mentioned, the medical parts. And because we have a good international structure, it was more easy for us to access and to importing in the country what's necessary and as a main importance. And of course, the administrative part, it was faster. And just a bit behind. Yes, as I mentioned, communication. We conducted a national campaign on vaccination. We explained to people. We made a lot of materials with influencers, with public figures to spread the official message that come from the authority. Because we are in the middle, let's say, between authority and the community.
Absolutely.
And
I assure you of this, because it's from the public.
And again, that is important to don't dilute the message of the emblem and to keep the neutrality and impartiality. And a lot of us, we saw also in the last days, the exchange prisoner from Gaza or in the Ukraine war was made it through the Red Cross, because have this, please, and we can go after that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Red Cross is the most trusted
entity
in Romania at this moment.
Absolutely.
Much more trusted than the politicians and the parties and.
Yes, in terms of, let's keep it in terms of NGOs, yes. And we see that in each response when the community come back to us with resource, material or volunteering to support the society. And also in our response, because we are to Ukraine, we still have it, services for Ukraine. And imagine that I didn't put figures. We have 100 and 1,000 of people help, but each person, it's a story, which is difficult to capture and to express the emotion, how important it was, and still is this help for the individual. Just imagine 4 from 5 Ukrainian know about the Red Cross and was supported with different services by the Red Cross.
Just quickly,
please.
Just imagine reunification family links. That means that through the Red Cross, they could reunify because they don't know where's the husband, where's the wife, because of the floods. You know, maybe they're in Romania, maybe they're in other countries, maybe they are prisoners, maybe they are alive, maybe they're not. So this through the Red Cross database, this is one of the most important services we are offered to, for the refugees.
So I can draw a first conclusion because we close up. I will keep 15 minutes now. I'm sorry, I wanted to be more a Q&A session, but your interventions were really fantastic. One conclusion from myself is technology empowers, but only if coordination exists. So if you have questions from the audience and also online audience, please prepare. Yes, Miss Flaviana.
Actually, it's not a question, it's a comment, because it was a joy that other countries are less in the regulation area. It's not such a happiness because we have the experience again of COVID where the ventilators couldn't be plugged due to the different size. Also for the war in Ukraine at the beginning, the blood bags for transfusion could not be connected with the, pipes you have because it's another standard. So regulatory, okay, it's too long. And during the COVID, the Ministry of Defense took the responsibility for the devices that should be fast in the market. We still need regulatory in order to have common standards for producers, despite the length. Thank you very much.
And also, I should add another small conclusion, is that preparedness must be regional anticipatory. We have one question. Yes.
Yes, I have a question. You mentioned here you discussed about technology, we discussed about new medical products, but I want to ask you, what concrete solution can you give us to implement solution to implement to prepare the member states for this kind of crisis on long term? Because one of the EU for Health objective is to increase the preparedness and the resilience of member states. And how can we do that, taking into account what you mentioned here? Because you are the stakeholders for this increased resilience and preparedness.
Anyone, an opinion? Red Cross.
Yes, from the Red Cross perspective, it's quite easy to answer because we're running different exercises, different scenario with our neighbors, with the Serbian, with the Bulgarian, and not only. So the focus is first in the region and after that in the European Union. And regularly we update our procedure, we involve our partners because the first response can be support, of course, by your neighbor. So from this we put in common the we standardize the food and non-food parcel, the procedure. We train together just to be ready and to reinforce each other if something is happening.
Yes.
Just quickly to add that maybe it's not well known, but the infrastructure of the Red Cross is impressive. We have tents, so we could deploy tents, for tens of people. We have also a kitchen, mobile kitchen, and we could provide food also for hundreds or maybe thousands of personnel, and also ambulances. So in the case of emergency, we immediately could act and to transform. And also, I should mention the Red Cross partners, and we could provide, very quickly water, for example.
Yes, Director Joel, Diana Joel, please.
I think from our point of view, the fact that we are working at the national level with the different partners, both academics and companies, it will for sure take us to a development in the scientific level, but also at an educational level. We are employing, and we want to employ a lot of scientists. We will inform, of course, about everything that we are doing about the biological products, the development, the challenges, and the solutions, and all the successes that hopefully we will have. It's a must, but we will have. And this will prepare us better, because once we start to focus on something and to try to understand it, and we are having enough time in a way, because with funding and with time you have enough time to understand the solution and to have it in the back of your mind, then you basically prepare yourself. Also, again, national level, it is very important over a lot of fields, because we are employing a lot of fields. We also have involved in this project a lot of ministries. We have the Defense Ministry, we have the Health Ministry, we have the Research Ministry, and then we have the Investment Funding Ministry. So everybody will learn, including us and them, and everybody will have to learn from this, and we will basically prepare ourselves for the future. And it is important to have this type of continuous funding in order to have the opportunities to prepare ourselves.
Professor Octavian, you would like to say something?
Yes, I would like to add something else. It's very important. We don't know when the crisis will strike, how deep it will be, how bad the situation will be, but we should understand something. The main weak point of European Union is the inertia. Until we go there, until we take a decision, until we discuss, people are dying. So from a certain point of view, I'm an engineer. I'm not a politician. I'm not an administrative part. I'm an engineer. From a certain point of view, the reaction time is critical. You should send there something, some equipment, some basic equipment, at least a drone, to collect information, at least to make up with a plan. Maybe it's not the perfect plan, but you have a reaction. People are tired of not having reactions or reacting too late. This is the main problem from us as Europeans. With all due respect, if we don't react, we become, instead of high-tech European Union, we become something else. We become the museum. People will come to Europe just to visit us. We need to react. This is the most important part. Thank you.
Dr. Todorovic wanted to say something.
Yes. I want to thank BEHEALTH for bringing us all together to discuss. This is very important because it builds one living network that will last even after events. So that's one of the ways to bring us together to discuss and connect not only problems but also solutions. And another way is our projects. And I would like to invite you all. We have two ongoing Horizon CBRN projects, Spark Up and Ground Up, and they are basically European platforms for excellence and innovations and sustainable collaboration. And we are very proud that we already had two Romanian institutions in our consortium. And we invite all others from research and industry, from public institutions, international organizations to join us and to be our partners in that ambitious initiative.
Dr. Nicolae Mărunțelu, you would like to say
Okay, I would like to continue her speech and to understand our role in this Centrum of Excellence European CBRN is to collect all lessons and to spread to another people and to continue our training to put in evidence a new technology, new equipment for action in difficult situation in catastrophic event.
Please don't stop there, because as I said, my second conclusion on our whole topic is preparedness must be regional and anticipatory. And as we can see, this panel was really helped by the beautiful work done by the European Commission, offering the opportunity to put all the things and thoughts all together, just to give us hope for a better future. And your first presentation in the panel was about exactly regional approach. So how do you feel the momentum in the regional approach on what your field of expertise is? As a final word, because we conclude here our panel.
Okay, thank you. It's important to have the same line of preparation. The same line, that means European country, all country from Europe, doesn't matter, they are not a member of European Union, but we have to develop a common line to act for these events, unseen events. And we are doing in our project with this preparation for cyber protection, for CBRN protection, and so on. Yeah.
My third and last conclusion is trust and cross-sector and cross-border collaboration are the foundations for resilience. So, Ms. Brankovic, a final word.
Not just for our cooperation, but yesterday I met a lady working in a virology lab, and I said, oh, I have contacts, I will give you contacts. It's important. We don't have to meet our new partners, but we will meet someone who knows someone who can help us. So we will continue to do that. And these things and these trainings let us meet at personal level and connect at personal level. So it's really important. If you train with someone personally, then you know what they think on the field, and you will be eager not just to save yourself, but to save your friends. And that's why that cooperation will be better. So I hope that things like this will be more productive and even better in the next years, and we'll keep our cooperation, and that will result with many more projects and many more trainings and a better resilience.
Any other questions from the audience? If not, like in television, because we have a counter here. I thank you all, our distinguished panelists and guests. Mr. Nicolae Mărunțelu, Professor Octavian Ghiță, domnul Cristian Jura, Ms. Dana Stan, Dr. Ana Brankovic, Dr. Ana Todorovic, Dr. Diana Joel, and Mr. Daniel Modoacă. All our panelists, I apologize if I missed something. Due to the short time, I had to interrupt you in many ways and many times. It happens, as you all know. It's a matter of economy of the conference. I'm sure that you will share with us, even during the break, what remained not said. So for the time being, let's continue this dialogue across borders and disciplines, wherever we are, whenever we can, because resilience begins with correction. action. Thank you very much all. The picture, official picture, please.